He is Moscow's invisible man. In the 2 weeks Edward Snowden's been holed up here in the transit lounge at Moscow airport, there hasn't been a single sighting of the 30-year-old intelligence analyst. He's not just gone to ground, he's simply disappeared. On June 23rd, Edward J. Snowden disembarked at Moscow airport from Hong Kong. After the US revoked his passport, he was travelling on documents issued by the Ecuador government, facilitated by WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. 2 days later, the US called on Russia to expel Snowden. The Kremlin refused. On July 3rd, Bolivian President Evo Morales spent the night in Vienna as his aircraft was denied permission to overfly some European countries. Reports that Snowden was aboard his jet were unfounded. On July 6th, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro offered Snowden asylum. On July 8th, Snowden begins his third week at Moscow Airport Transit Lounge, but has not been seen in public since his arrival. Now it would appear that the NSA analyst has become an embarrassment to the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin, a former KGB agent, expressed his disdain for the young whistleblower in colourful language. Dealing with Snowden, says the president, is like shearing a piglet. Too much squealing and too little wool. But to the people of Moscow, Snowden's become a bit of a folk hero.
He is very brave. He's practically a second WikiLeaks, and I think we should give him asylum.
I think he's a human rights activist. I think it's right that he tells the world about US surveillance, and I disagree with President Putin, who doesn't want to spoil relations with the US.
Marcia Lippman is a Russian political analyst with the think tank the Carnegie Center. She says Snowden's now become a real problem for the Kremlin.
The Russian administration and President Putin in particular are actually anxious to get rid of Snowden, yet of course not to extradite him to the United States and not to allow the United States to arrest him if he is dispatched to a country where they can reach him.
The political repercussions of the Snowden saga rumble on. US relations with the Kremlin, already on shaky ground, may have deteriorated still further. The Kommersant newspaper here, quoting US State Department sources in Washington, says that President Obama is considering postponing his visit to Russia in September because of the continued presence of Edward Snowden at the airport. Peter Sharp, Al Jazeera, Moscow.